welcome to my March plan with me. I hope you guys had a really good start to your year and are kind of settling into everything. For this month, I decided to go with a mushroom theme since it's kind of going into fall for us. But yeah, I decided to do kind of like a play on mushrooms a little bit. I was basically quite inspired by the acorns that we have at our local park, and I don't know why, but it kind of gave me like a very rustic kind of theme. And then somehow I thought about mushrooms, and then I was like, oh, that would actually make for a really nice theme. So yeah, basically on my kind of March cover page, I'm just drawing a range of different mushrooms. I had some like tall ones, some smaller ones, and then I kind of mixed it up a bit. I spread the colors around so it looked more balanced. Also, in case you're wondering, I'll mention all the products that I used in this video in the description below, but the main pens like I use for the browns are 990 and 992 in the Tombow dual brush pens. And I really like the Tombow dual brush for this because the brush tip is really good for like layering different like pens on top of each other. But yeah, basically I really like them since you can achieve different shades but use the same pen. So yeah, I would highly recommend those. Something that you can try as well is actually mixing the colors. So instead of using like red and brown, which I think are more traditional kind of mushroom colors, you could also try it in like a pastel kind of color theme. I don't know why, but when I thought of this theme, I actually thought it would look really nice in like a pastel blue and purple theme as well, or like kind of give it more like a mysterious vibe. I don't know. Also, I can't believe it's March already. Like, I feel like this year has gone so fast yet so slow. Like, I feel like it's very long. It feels very long. Like we've had it for a very long time. But then at the same time, when I think about it and I'm like, whoa, it's already March. Like, I feel like it was just like yesterday when it was still in like January. But I don't know, does anyone else have this feeling that like March just came really fast, but then it feels really slow? I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I just feel like this whole year is just, yeah, it feels like it's gone very fast but very slow at the same time. Anyway, going back to the design of my front cover page, I am just kind of tidying up the page a little bit as well. I was actually contemplating as to whether I should add green leaves to like the bottom, as in like grass or something, because I feel like the page looked very just red and brown, that I wanted to add something in but kind of not have it look like Christmas at the same time. But yeah, after this video I actually ended up going back in and drawing in like leaves and grass and whatever to make it like less just kind of red and brown. Also, I wanted to mention that the design of my mushrooms are largely based off of an artist, Lynette Sherrard Illustrations, which I found on Pinterest. So yeah, go and check out her work as well. She has this beautiful mushroom art illustration which I think is amazing, and is basically what I based my theme off of. So yeah, go and check out her page. To finish, I just went in with the same marker in some spots to make it a bit darker and to add depth, and I also added a few more mushrooms here and there as well. And then on the left hand side I put in a kind of February reflections page, which is something that I want to try and do at the end of each month. I'll basically write in my favorite memories or some interesting things that happened in that last month and kind of how I'm feeling and everything, so I can look back on it one day. Moving on to the calendar page, I started off with doing kind of like a faux calligraphy font. But yeah, I basically thought that this would look better than if I did actual calligraphy. So I do thicker strokes, or I make bold the down strokes of the letters, and then on the up strokes I just kind of keep the thickness of the pen. And for this month's quote, I kind of chose something that I thought would be quite motivating in like harder times, because I feel like sometimes you just kind of need that extra motivation or like some sort of quote to like just get you in the zone. So yeah, I ended up putting that on my calendar spread since I found that I refer to that page quite a lot. So I thought that that would be quite helpful to have there, especially when times get stressful or if, you know, assignments start piling up and everything. At the bottom of the calendar page, I again just kind of did the mushrooms to tie in with the theme, but this time I kept all of the mushrooms really just red and brown. I didn't try to do too many like all brown mushrooms since I wanted to keep the calendar quite minimal, and I knew I was going to use kind of black pen when I was writing on the calendar, so I wanted to tie in and bring some color in here, which is why I kept it red. And also I ended up adding some green to the bottom as well, which is what I was talking about, that I basically went back to the title page and did because I loved the look of this so much. But basically I used different shades of green to add some grass and like leaves to the bottom, which I really like since I feel like it brightens up the piece a little bit more. It doesn't have that, I guess, more rustic and like old in a way look to the page, which yeah, I really like that. And on the side I just had my planner, content planner for YouTube and also Instagram on the side. I find this really helpful because I can just go back easily to refer to certain things, and because I use the calendar page so much, I find it really helpful just to have that on the calendar page. Something that I actually didn't like about this page is how dark the brown lines were. Yeah, if I were to go back and do it again, I'd actually make these lines a bit lighter. I think it actually looks quite nice on camera, but in real life I feel like they're a bit too dark, so they're kind of a bit distracting when you look at it. But yeah, that's probably something that I would change. And also the brown doesn't fit in with the other browns because this brown's more of a cool brown and then the other brown's a bit more of a warm brown. But anyways, yeah, at the top oh yes, this was also something I didn't really like. The colorful rainbow of red and greens at the top. I feel like it's too busy and a bit too dark. So yeah, if I were to go back again, I would probably made it all that light green because I found that easiest to read, or I would have chosen the orange that was next to it. But yeah, that's up to you, and yeah, maybe you like it, I don't know. Moving on to the trackers page, I basically kept this very simple because I found that I didn't really use my trackers in February. Like, I kind of forget to fill them out half the time, so I only ended up doing 3 for this month, which are like the main things that I really want to track, because I think last month I just had too many and I just didn't end up using them. So for this month I just, yeah, kept it minimal. Underneath I have my social media section, and this is like one of the most useful things that I have in my bullet journal. It's basically a place where I keep all the ideas that I have for my Instagram or TikTok or YouTube. So yeah, if you'd like to check that out, I will have the links in the description below as well. But yeah, I basically keep most of my ideas either on my whiteboard or in my bullet journal, since they're kind of like the easiest place to refer to everything. But yes, for this spread I kept everything really simple, since I felt the calendar page was a bit more busy with all the lines and all the colors and everything. So this spread I basically just did a few mushrooms underneath and kept the rest of the page black and white. I wanted lots and lots of space since the social media section is kind of the section that I use the most. And also on the right hand side, I didn't want to take up too much space with the mushrooms since I wanted to leave it as like a reflection section. Oh, that rhymed. Reflection section. Anyway, moving on, I also did the grass with the mushrooms this time as well, since I really liked how it turned out in my last spread, so I incorporated it in this one as well. Something that I didn't do for this month was a notes page, so you can easily turn the reflection section into a notes section if you like that, but I'm gonna kind of see how I do without it for this month, and then maybe I'll bring it back next month if I need to. I then just highlighted next to the title to balance out kind of the red at the bottom from the mushrooms. Moving on to the weekly spread, I again tried to keep this quite minimal because I really liked how the spread before that turned out, so I basically only did a few mushroom doodles and then kept the rest of the page pretty much black and white with a quote. But yeah, in hindsight, I would have actually made the boxes for each day smaller, but had one size of the box, if that makes sense, be an events kind of column. I found that really helpful when I had it in February, since February was kind of like my try all the layouts month, and I found that this week, which the week I'm currently on, I didn't have an events kind of column page part, and I found that quite hard because I would have to keep flipping back to the calendar and sometimes I'd miss certain things, so yeah, in hindsight I would probably have one of them for next week. In the empty space, I ended up doing a quote which was, "Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will," and I don't know, I'm very much of a quotes person. I love motivational quotes, so this was a pretty big thing for me, but yeah, I really like having a quote every week, and it's something new, refreshing, and to kind of keep you motivated, so yeah, that's something that I really like, and I'll probably bring into my weekly spreads later on as well. To finish off, I just added some detailing and some doodles at the bottom, but yeah, I ended up using some red at the bottom because I felt the mushroom at the top was really bright and it needed a little bit of red at the bottom, and then I ended up going on top of the word dreams with the white Sakura jelly roll, and it's actually the first time I've ever used it, and I would definitely highly recommend. It is the best white gel pen I've ever used in my life, and I would definitely recommend that if you need a white gel pen. Now, before we get into the final flip through, if you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and also subscribe and turn on post notifications so you get notified every time I upload a new video. If you recreate this theme, please tag my Instagram. It is study_latte_. I'd love to see your recreations, and yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!